Right, the transfer window is now officially open, and that means that Chelsea are going to be very busy over the next few months with incomings and outgoings. We have already secured the signature of Omari Kellyman and Marc Guiu this week, and we are going to touch on that in this video. But first, we haven't had a chance, Mr. Aveste, to discuss a huge transfer rumour over the last few days. Some would argue that the ship has now sailed for this rumour. However, I think there's still a small chance that we see some sort of activity, and that is obviously Chelsea's potential bid to bring Alexander Isak to Stamford Bridge. What are we saying?
I mean, he wants to go to a bigger club, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Can you blame him?
I'll tell you what, we wouldn't speak like this around Brian, would we?
We wouldn't. And you know what? It's so harsh. What a wonderful player he is, and he would make our team better. I think that's pretty obvious. Is he better than Nicholas Jackson, Joe?
Not many people are. Not many people are better than the Enigma.
You love Nicholas Jackson. You had a proper 180 on Nicholas Jackson, you have.
Why? Did I ever say I didn't like him?
Well, there was start of the season you said maybe a bit profligate, maybe.
I've definitely never used the word profligate because I don't know what the word profligate even means. But no, Nicholas Jackson's turned me. Not in that way.
Oh,
he's turned me.
You thought about it?
Yeah, I'll tell you who he does turn. Defenders on the halfway line every single time he gets on the ball. I think it would probably spell the end of Nicholas Jackson's days operating as the number 9, or at least the sole number 9 at Chelsea Football Club. But obviously, Omari Kellyman and Marc Guiu can both play number 9, both pretty much we're thinking being brought in as number 9s, albeit number 9s that may well go out and gain experience on loan and whatnot.
Kellyman may be a 10, just to caveat, maybe more of a 10. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what we would then be led to believe, because those deals were already going through, if it was true about the interest in Isaac, right? That means that we're not seeing either of those two guys as the guy that's going to lead the line. And potentially even Enzo Maresca or the powers that be at Chelsea Football Club don't even see Nicholas Jackson as the man who leads the line. Was this a case, potentially, and we're going to move on and speak about whether this deal could still happen or not, but was this a case, potentially, of us really feeling that we need to go out and make a statement signing in that position? Or was it a potential case of an opportunity arising that was just too good to turn down?
Could it be a bit of both? Because there definitely was an opportunity for Newcastle, wasn't there? In that they obviously were scrambling for some PSR reasons. Obviously, the deadline's now passed. It was June 30th, as you say. But they managed to get some really weird transfers over the line, didn't they? So they sold Minte to... Minta. How much are they selling for? About 30-odd million. And then Elliot Anderson, they sold for 35 million, which Brian said it himself. He's got absolutely no idea how they've been able to pull in that kind of money for him. Because he isn't that good.
Elliot Anderson for 30 what? 35?
35 million to Nottingham Forest. And also, where is the money coming from Nottingham Forest? They don't have loads of money chucking about, do they? They're under PSR concerns themselves. So there's some weird stuff going on at Newcastle. But they've managed to raise the money. So we thought that might have closed the door for Isak. The fact that, though, that we're looking at him predicates probably an interest from Isak's part to even consider the transfer, because obviously why would we be interested in him if we can't actually get him over the line? Caveat to that is obviously Elise. But Elise was making all the right noises, wasn't he, for a very long time?
Well, here you go, because I wanted to speak about the Elise deal. Does it make much sense that, like, first off, let me prerequisite this by saying that Isach would be a much better player for us, I believe, than Michael Elise, right? And that is because needs must, basically. We need someone in that position who we can definitely rely on. Now, Nicholas Jackson impressed me in that first season. Do I think that he will get better and lay on more goals and assists next season? I do think he will. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility he doesn't.
Yeah.
With Isaac, I believe you've got more of a sure thing, right? Now, the problem with Isaac would have been the old, which obviously I'm talking about the hip and the groin.
I was going to say, where are you pointing to there?
Hip and groin.
Because you've done a lot of Googling about Isak's groin recently.
Late night Googling.
Yeah.
No, but he has. He's got a bad groin, hasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. And he was injured for what, half the season last year?
Nah.
It was less than half the season, maybe a third.
Well, here's what I think about it, right?
Yeah.
I think that when you look at Newcastle last year, they were in an injury crisis, is putting it lightly. I think they had one of the worst injury crises in Premier League history
since Chelsea's injury crisis.
Since Chelsea, yeah, we really made injury crises. Now everyone just wants to.
We had the best injury crisis. That's our claim to fame.
Oh, mate, we got an open top bus parade.
Yeah, definitely deserved.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But what I would say is when you look at Isak and you look at the amount of time he spent out injured last season,
looking at Isak,
it
can I
could.
just say?
Oh, we all like it.
Yeah.
We all like it. It could be a cause for concern. I actually think because of Newcastle's injury crisis, he played probably 30% more games than he would have if Callum Wilson hadn't been injured all season. It's funny how the tables turn because originally we were maybe looking at Callum Wilson, then we were going in for Isak. Do you think that the club's hierarchy were actually seriously considering going for this move?
Yes.
They were.
Because, as you say, there was an opportunity there that we could have got an amazing player, world-class level player, for a cut price deal. If you're talking about £100 million or euros, whatever we're going for, whatever currency takes your fancy, for this kind of player, you've got to jump on it because you don't really get many opportunities like that. And I think what Chelsea are doing quite astutely right now at the moment is we're looking at players that are undervalued in the market and we're going for them. We're not going to be able to ever sign the Mbappes of this world and these high paid players. Even players like Elise and Nico Williams are, they're out of our reach now. Do you know what I mean? Just for the transfer fee and the wages. We can't afford to pay it anymore. So we've got to look for opportunities in the market. Isak, don't think he's on a massive wage packet in comparison to other strikers.
I think he's less than £100 a week.
Which is insane for a player of his quality. And also, if you can get him for a cut price deal, you've got to go for it. Remember that 100 million would be amortized over the period of his contract. So again, it doesn't feel like a lot of money. So I think they were really looking at it, and I think they were smart to look at it because if Newcastle didn't get that young player, the academy player, off the books, and if they didn't get Elliot Anderson off the books, they would have been in big trouble. And if they were in big trouble, we were there to, get the sort of crumbs off the table, and we were ready to go, weren't we?
So when you were saying we're looking for good value for money players, if we were to have signed Isaac for 100 million, is that good value?
That's exceptional value. Why is that not? No, but come on. We're talking about elite number 9s around across the world. I would say he's probably in the top 5 prospects right now as centre forwards.
Yeah.
People have played a lot more than that in the past. With inflation, players that we've signed in the past, Shevchenko's, Crespo's, we've spent more than 100 million.
You just named a load of players that flopped.
True.
Yeah. But I do completely understand where you're going with that. Yeah. I'm not saying he's not good value for money. I just think there's a bit of a stigmatism attached to that £100 million.
The point that I would say now then is this. There were some rumours about Nicholas Jackson going the other way. And a lot of Chelsea fans were very, very annoyed about that. And it's interesting how far Nicholas Jackson has come because at the start of the season, regardless of what we said, there was a lot of clamour at the start of the season that he shouldn't have been in the team, that he wasn't good enough. A lot of people said, bro, you should have been in the team. So we've gone a long way, haven't we?
Would you swap Nicholas Jackson for Isaac?
You cheeky little fucker.
Do you think, hold on, I think we both know the answer to that. Isaac is a class player.
Yeah.
We love Nicholas Jackson dearly, but Isaac, listen, potentially might go on to be one of the best players in the world. Not only is he a brilliant goal scorer when he's on the pitch, he's also a great facilitator. You look at the way he linked up with Anthony Gordon, the players around him, you could very much imagine. And I said it, in our little group chat, me, you and Brian have got a group chat and we were speaking about this. What did I say? I said, with Cole Palmer and Isaac, Chelsea probably win the league next season.
Yeah, so true. So true. And I don't think that's unfair to say. I think he takes us from being challenging Champions League team to being a title challenging team overnight because of his quality. And are we doing Nicholas Jackson a disservice by saying that?
No.
Because we're saying he's a level up, but I would have been gutted to seeing Nicholas Jackson go. I'm actually a bit worried about Nicholas Jackson going because obviously he wasn't happy about the Pochettino sacking, was he? He made that quite clear. And
you weren't happy about a lot of things last season.
Yeah, true. I really like Nicholas. I think he's been excellent and underrated for Chelsea, actually.
Yeah, I think the same. I'd love to see him here next season. Am I sure that he leads the line for Chelsea next season? I'm not too sure.
Do you think he starts on the left wing?
I think he could start on the left wing, or I think maybe he becomes a player that we see off the bench potentially, which is mad to say because he's just had a really good debut season. I just think that there's that potential that if we bring a big name signing in, potentially it ends up going a little bit like the Lukaku situation in terms of he comes in, the manager's forced to play him, but actually the manager wants to play Jackson, or back then it was, Havertz or whatever that Tuchel wanted to play. So I think that could be a situation that arises itself. Is this transfer completely dead in the water? Because I'll tell you something, right? Let me give you an analogy, right? You meet a beautiful young woman, yeah? Wine and dine.
Yeah.
6 and 9.
Yeah.
No, just wine and dine. You wine and dine her. Yeah. You're really interested. In fact, you think she might be the one.
Yeah.
You are keen. You need this woman. She gets a boyfriend. Do you stop trying?
You're still staying in touch, aren't you, Jay?
I'm still staying in touch.
You've got
I'm wishing her a happy birthday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A bit more than happy birthday, actually, as well.
Which she puts up about getting a new job and I haven't spoke to her in 3 years. Yeah, I'm going to text her so proud with a kiss.
Yeah. You're literally doing Happy Earth Day. You're doing every holiday that you could possibly about. Happy Easter. You're wishing her Happy Easter.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. I mean, that's a bit weird, isn't it? She did call you Daddy, though, to be fair.
Daddy, cool. Yeah.
Where were we?
I think Newcastle are holding him prisoner at the minute.
That's harsh.
It is harsh.
It is harsh. I think
Speaking of prisoners, just quickly, you haven't seen any any interesting prison videos recently, have you?
No. I haven't been Googling what's been happening in HMS. It's in Wandsworth as well.
HMP Wandsworth, yeah.
HMP, sorry.
Well, I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
But
neither completely
have I.
unrelated. I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking about handing myself in for tax fraud.
Yeah. I'm sure we could get you arrested for something.
And for speeding. And for not wearing a seatbelt at times.
How much time do you need on your records to be able to make sure you really get the prison experience?
The full experience?
Yeah. Probably about 10
2
seconds.
minutes, yeah. Is that just what happens in prison then?
Yeah. It's very confusing because I thought prison was a very different experience.
Yeah. Now I'm sort of regretting never going.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the video, please do just Google, what is it? HMP Wandsworth.
HMP Wandsworth.
Prison guards. And just enjoy the video.
Good girl. Good girl. We get her on the pod sometimes. She wants to.
Yeah.
So, dead in the water.
Remotely as well, by the way. She'd have to be.
Oh, yeah. Isaac.
Yeah.
Dead in the water.
I think it's one of those ones that may rumble on for a bit longer because as much as Newcastle are compliant within PSR, compliant and then being, sort of going forward and being able to invest in players is another thing. We saw a club sell a big name player and progress up the league, and it was Aston Villa. Do you remember that? Philippe Coutinho signed him. Do you remember when they signed him?
Yeah.
But then what about Liverpool? They sold him. Crazy amount of money, go up the league.
Yeah. Oh,
we've seen it
a few times.
I mean, Liverpool were way off it.
A few times, even with Liverpool, like when they challenged for the title and had Luis Suarez banging in goals. When they got rid of Luis Suarez, when he moved on. I don't think people thought that they would progress. And within 2-3 years of that, they won a league title, something like that.
And then with Villa, it was Grealish, wasn't it?
Villa, it was Grealish, and now look how they're doing.
Yeah. So sometimes you do need to take a backward step to make a forward step. Maybe that's what Newcastle are going to have to do with a player like Isach.
We finished without any form of European football, sold N'Golo Kante and the rest of the boys, Havertz, Mount and all them lot, and then got ourselves
look at us now.
Conference League.
Look at us now.
And when Bowley, Barley and Clear Lake took over the club, what did they say?
They said we're desperate to sign N'Golo Kante.
No, they said we are desperate to play Conference League.
Yes.
And we want DEWSBURY-HALL.
It's a dream, isn't it? I can't quite believe it's happened.
We're living the life. We're living the life. Shall we quickly move on to the two permanent signings that we have made? Omari Kellyman and Marc
Guiu.
It's easy. It's you.
Guiu.
Guiu. Yeah.
Guiu, yeah, fancy one. They make lovely desserts.
By the way, we talk about time, especially my time in HMP Wandsworth. 33 seconds is all it took you. You know that?
Really?
33 seconds after coming on off the bench against Athletic Bilbao.
Yeah.
Was it Athletic Bilbao?
You watched that game live. You were actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much you've been scouting this guy.
Yeah.
You've rated him for a long time. Yeah.
I went to Barcelona on a school trip in year 9.
Yeah. And you watched him then?
No. he wouldn't have been born probably. This is when I realised the teachers had really low expectations of me, because all I did on that school trip was didn't get caught for doing anything naughty. I did a few naughty things, but I didn't get caught for anything.
Yeah.
And pretty chilled out. I had a headache a lot of the time. Anyway, and at the end of the trip, they gave out awards, and I won best behaved.
What is that award? Like,
No, exactly.
Who's even giving out an award for
that was when I realised, the bars.
The bar's very low.
I clocked it. The bar's low. The bar's low. You don't get in trouble for a week, and they give you an award. Like,
but what do the school teachers know? I mean, they kept telling you to shut up.
There you go.
They kept telling you to stop getting in fights.
No, they're big watchers of the channel.
No, they're big watchers of the channel.
A few of my school teachers do actually watch channel. I've heard.
Do you rate this Guiu?
Yes.
Do you think he's going to be in the first team squad?
Yes.
Do you think Kellyman will be in the first team squad?
Potentially not.
Yeah. I see Kellyman being dev squad / loan.
Yeah. With Kellyman, I do think that he's a good player. To be honest, let me tell you, right? Guiu is a player that I see getting minutes. I actually see him coming off the bench and getting minutes. And I would also say that he could potentially be a player that we might see in the Cups. With managers, you've got two types of managers, haven't you? You've got managers that rotate in the Cups and managers that don't rotate in the Cups. And to be honest, for the most part, Marcos Alonso didn't really rotate that much in the Cup. And let's be honest, his hands were tired a lot of the time with all the injuries and whatnot. But Arsene Wenger, for example, was a manager that would stubbornly rotate in the Cup. And even if the kids got him through to a semi-final, he would stay with them. Maybe a lot of players can thank the sort of trajectory of their careers to Arsene Wenger for having that trait. If Enzo Maresca is a manager that rotates in the Cups, then I think we will see Guiu. I think we'll see a fair bit of him. And again, I always speak about the stylistic mould of a Chelsea number 9, right? And actually, in what I've seen of him, YouTube highlights and whatnot, he looks like he fits the mould at least physically. Now, I also said that Amanda Broha used to physically fit the mould, and obviously, you know, he's not pulled up trees this season for Chelsea either. But in Guiu, listen, like anything, you bring any new signing in, I'm always going to be slightly excited about it. I'm always going to think, okay, you could do some sort of job for us. I just think that the transition would be easier if he went out on loan first. So, say for example, right, to use a streets will never forget, Michu, he had that brilliant season.
What a player.
After coming over from La Liga, and he went to Swansea, he had a brilliant season. Would he have done that same level of season? Would he have had the same level of performances that season and the same amount of goals and assists if he'd been playing for Chelsea? I doubt it.
Probably not, no.
I probably don't think he would.
Strikers.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I do think that, not ruin them, come on.
I mean, we've ruined quite a few strikers.
You cannot
We destroyed Chris Sutton's career.
Fuck Chris Sutton. You can't make an omelette, Josh, without doing what?
Breaking a few eggs.
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, we've broken a few. We must have made a lot of omelettes.
Yeah. Got them coming out of our ears in a minute. But either way, I think...
Can I ask you a question then on this? Is he better right now than Datro Fofana?
See, this is the question that always comes up. And the smart answer to give you is, no, he's not. Datro Fofana's proven in the Premier League. And when it fits my argument, I'll probably use that answer. But what I would say is, without the same sample size of games that they've played, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But I'm sort of beyond what I always think is this: try and go in with no expectation, not high, not low. Because when you go in with low expectations for someone, listen, I'm going to openly admit it, mate. I'm going to openly admit it on this channel right now. Do you know I was quite gutted when we signed Cole Palmer?
Yes, but there was a reason for that, wasn't there?
Can I be forgiven?
Yeah, I think you can, because you wanted Elise.
I wanted Elise.
Yeah,
and we were
we all
linked with
did.
Elise.
We all did.
And what I am is I'm a creature of habit. So what I do is I have to get my mind round to a signing. And I was really on board with Elise. So then when we didn't get him and got Cole Palmer, I wasn't gutted we got Cole Palmer. I was quite gutted we didn't get Elise. And then look how that worked. I was absolutely buzzing and happy to pay 90-odd million for Lukaku. I was happy to do it.
Yeah.
And look how that one worked.
Basically, our talent ID is shit.
Maybe, yeah. But what I'm trying to make the point of is just go in with no expectation. Not high, not low, then you're not going to be disappointed. With Marc Guiu, I've got no expectation really. But if you had to say to me right now, Marc Guiu stays next season, does he score goals in the Premier League? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah. And that is more than Datro Fofana did in his debut season. That's more than... Mate, I know the game time's massively limited. This isn't a down point on any of these players. But more than, obviously, Washington did coming off the bench in his debut season. So I think I think we could see something from him there. Do you think he's closer to the first team then than Omari Kellyman is?
I think he is, yes. Only because Kellyman is 17, I think, at the moment. So he's super young, and I've heard good things about him, but I haven't seen him being able to go on to that next level. Now, my not conspiracy theory, but my theory might be this: that Dacho Fofana ends up being the third choice striker this year, and he will actually play because he's played in European competitions and he's played in the Premier League. He ends up being the third choice, and Mark ends up being one of these players that goes out on loan along with Washington actually, because they're both quite young. They could do with some first team football.
Can I give you an alternative?
Go on then. Yeah, please do.
Right. I am Todd Bowley.
Put on your accent then.
I'll put it on. You are the chairman of Aston Villa. What's his name? Purslow, is it?
Purslow, yeah.
Purslow, yeah. You be Purslow, I'll be Bowley.
Okay.
Hey, Purslow, how you doing, man?
Lovely to see you, Todd.
I have been having a think about some of your guys, okay? I'm not going to come in and I'm not going to start playing.
You're not going to come in the guys?
Chelsea. I'm not going to come on your guys. I'm not going to come anywhere near your guys, man. Yeah. I want John Duran.
You can't have him.
I want him.
How much are you going to pay for him?
How much do you want?
80 million.
80 million bucks?
80 million pounds. We're in England.
I will give you...
I offer you...
I hear your offer.
Yeah, and I offer you.
How about 20 million and Dacho Fofana?
What?
You're tempted.
No,
You're tempted.
I'm tempted. And now I'm breaking character of my Christian, because that was a pretty good impression, because he does sound exactly like that.
Yeah.
But why? We haven't really seen the Duran rumours stepping up, have we?
I think Duran probably better than Dacho Fofana.
Is there a small possibility that Jackson number 1, Christopher Nkunku number 2, Dacho Fofana number 3, or Guy, and that's it?
I don't think Christopher Nkunku's going to play number 9 for Chelsea.
Is he considered a number 9?
No. I mean, mate, we only watched bite-sized performances of him last year, and we obviously didn't have that much to be able to really draw a conclusion on. But does he look like a 9?
I don't class him as a 9. I would now say he's a winger only. I wouldn't even say he's number 10 in this system.
Oh, I think that could be harsh.
Well, we're playing 4-3-3, aren't we?
Yeah.
So he doesn't fit into the 3-8s, does he really?
No.
So he's a winger. So then, for me, I would be signing another high-profile number 9. But for me, I wouldn't be. That's the key operative word here is high-profile. Don't think Duran is the high-profile guy. But I like your offer, Todd.
I think that Bowley would have been hoping that. And listen, David Dacho Fofana did well at Burnley. All right at Union Berlin. But I think that Bowley would have been looking at that, and I think he would have been massively, massively hoping to have inflated his fee, his value even more. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm sort of indifferent to it. I'm not that bothered. I'm not going to lie here and say,
we've got no real connections.
Got no massive connection. If you said to me now, you can gamble on someone. So you say, for example, okay, get rid of Dacho Fofana and gamble on Guiu. I'd be like, probably not. Maybe, probably not. Do you know what I mean? But if you went to me, right, you can get rid of Dacho Fofana and gamble on John Duran, I actually would. I would.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm very guilty of being impressionable with these things. I know I am, but every good football fan is in a way. Do you know what I mean? We do buy into it and love it. I look at John Duran and I'm like, do you know what? He could be one. You know how you speak about goalkeepers and you say they're not a number 1, but they're not a number 2. They're sort of a 1.5. That's where I'd see John Duran, and then it's just a straight battle between him and Nicholas Jackson to see who gets in there next season. Yeah.
For me, I know what you're saying there, but for me, I still think we need a proper world-class number 9, or at least someone that can really compete with Jackson. And I rate Duran a lot, but I just think he will need a bit more time to bed in. And that's why I do think we're going to end up at the tail end of this window. There's going to be some opportunities. Osman is still going to be wanting to leave. They're going to have to reduce their fee. He's still going to be around in the market.
What is the fee at the minute for Osman?
Apparently, the release clause is 120 million euros still.
What's that, 90 million quid?
Well, 100 odd million quid. It's
too
much money for him.
Big wages.
He'd be big wages.
Yeah.
But, and also, they moved away from him. So there must have been something that's happened there for them to have moved away. Maybe it's wage demand, maybe it's agents' fees. We don't know at the moment. So there's still Osman on the market. I think the Alvarez thing there's something going on there. That those rumours don't come out of nowhere. I'm not saying this is going to happen, by the way. I'm just saying that like he's a player that's sort of around, and there'll be other players still on the market that will come up at the tail end of the summer that will be interested in moves. So I could see us going in for a level of that player.
Chelsea opened discussions with Wout Weghorst.
What an offer!
Nah, joking.
I would love that.
Well, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Where's he going to end up?
Finally, I don't know. God knows. Who cares about him? Finally, let's move on to 3 players that have now officially departed Chelsea Football Club. Thank you for your service. Please make sure you stay subscribed to the Joey Knight podcast, these 3 players, because I know they watch it a lot, but they might not watch it as much. Now they're at different clubs. Omari Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Out with one Omari, in with another.
Yeah. I see what they did there.
Yeah. Ian Maatsen.
Yeah.
And Lewis Hall.
Yeah. Decent money, by the way, we got for all of those players.
What do we get for Omari
I
Hutchinson?
think Omari Hutchinson is in the £20 million mark. I've seen rumours. Some of them have been saying 19, some of them have been saying 25.
Yeah,
so we just say 20 odd.
Yeah, let's say 20 odd.
Then Maatsen was 37.5. Interestingly, higher than his release clause, which tells you everything you need to know about the dealings that we've been doing with PSR.
But his release clause did expire the 3 days before they signed him.
It did. But
was it intentional?
Was it intentional?
Okay.
And then Lewis Hall was what, 28 million. So we've raised a lot of money, and they're all academy players, as you say,
right?
Except for Omari.
Listen, do you want it? Bold prediction time.
I want it.
Bold prediction time.
Hit me.
I think Lewis Hall might have the best season out of all 3 of them next season.
I think you're wrong. I'm going to go for the easy answer on this.
It is an easy answer. It's Maatsen.
Yeah, Maatsen definitely has a higher ceiling than all of those players.
Do you think out of those 3 players, if I said, right, which one goes on to become a legit major international player, picked for their country, every tournament, just whose ceiling's high, do you think it's just a straight tap-in for Ian Maatsen, or do you think either of those boys can sort of rival him as the years go on?
Do you not think it's revealing in itself that Lewis Hall isn't involved in the England squad now, considering we need a left-back so desperately?
Well, I am going to take your stance for once with England, and I'm going to say that, can you read into anything too much while we're still managed by Southgate?
Yeah. I mean, his picks this summer were horrendously bad.
I mean, mate,
his squad building is awful.
To not go
with a left back,
to not go with Bramthwaite or Levi Colwell, I think is pretty criminal.
Or Chilwell,
yeah,
or Mitchell, or Hall.
Yeah. Do you know how we say and obviously I don't ever want it to come across the wrong way on the channel because we love Ben Chilwell. He's won a Champions League for Chelsea. We were very underwhelmed by I can speak for myself personally, I was underwhelmed by his performances last season. Of course, it could have been coming back from the injury and whatnot. But do you not think a slightly below par Ben Chilwell, a slightly undercooked Ben Chilwell, is a better option than Kieran Trippier left back?
Yes. Right. And also, a slightly undercooked Ben Chilwell is better than an injured Luke Shaw. The fact that he's taken Luke Shaw, who hasn't played since February.
Is that who would be like the third choice? Because I'm scrambling my head now. Would then, if we're not going on about playing Joe Gomez there or playing players out of position, whatever, would the third choice now, and that really does expose our lack of depth there, would it be Lewis Hall?
Well, sorry, I'm saying in the squad right now, the third choice right now would be Saka, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm saying we're talking about Gareth Southgate's preparation, who he could have picked to take.
So you're saying Trippier 1?
He took one recognised left back that was injured.
Trippier 1, Shaw 2.
Yeah.
And then you're saying
Chilwell
Lewis Hall 3.
Yeah, but I don't count Trippier as one.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay,
so you're saying English left back is the third best English left back?
Yeah.
Lewis Hall.
I think Palace fans would go Mitchell, but I think everyone else would have an argument about Hall. Yeah. Maybe that's exposing our bias in that he was a Chelsea Academy graduate. But you have to say his performances when he came on were very good. And also, do you remember, he's already played big games. It's not like, he's a young kid that hasn't... He's played against City. What other games? Did Liverpool did he play against? Nearly
provided a beautiful assist at Old Trafford against Man United in... the first season under Bowley, obviously, I can't remember who was playing up front, but someone absolutely scuffed the shot. Can't remember who it was. No,
who was it? You can't remember.
Exactly it might have been Mudryk. Actually, now I'm rattling my brain. It could have been Mudryk.
Mudryk doesn't miss kill edge chances, does he?
Let me just quickly ask you about the new kit.
Yes.
We've seen a couple.
It's controversial.
It is controversial. Can I tell you what one I don't like? You know me. What don't I like?
I don't think you like the white one.
No, I don't like the one with the weird...
You don't like the black kit?
I don't like the black kit with the weird pink Nike logo that's
upside down.
What the fuck is all that about?
Don't get it. That was meant to be the Jordan kit, though. And the Jordan logo isn't on that one. Because we haven't finished in the Champions League.
Did any kit start off as a for you, but then became a ooh?
Maybe, do you know what? Maybe that yellow kit that we say is so good. Well, I remember first seeing that yellow kit, the 97, 98 away kit. Do you remember that one? It had a lot of colour on that. And I think the first time I saw that, I thought, that is disgusting. And now I look back on that and I go, that is lovely.
Do you know what one I could maybe suggest?
Yeah.
What's the one with the weird squares on?
Fuck off.
Do you remember when...
the 21-22?
Yeah, like...
Rudiger Lukaku kit.
Yeah, I class it as the Reece James versus Arsenal kit.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That is disgusting kit, that is. And we said that.
I'll tell you what, like I like a Chelsea kit of a white collar, yeah? Remember the one with the black collar?
Black collar? Blue Chelsea?
Blue Chelsea.
Black collar,
yeah.
What year was that?
Won the Champions League, didn't we?
The second Champions League?
Yeah. Didn't they have a black collar on it?
Don't remember having a black collar.
I don't know, I'm probably wrong on it. What do we think of the new kit? Rating it out of 10?
So it's very controversial, this kit. A lot of people says it looks like it has a penis on the front of it. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't do that.
You can't have a dick on the front of your T-shirt.
No, you can have it on the back.
Yeah. I really like the paint effect. It reminded me a bit. Do you remember there was that brilliant campaign where the Chelsea players were covered in paint?
That was a good one. Yeah, David Luiz
with his long hair. Oscar was involved in that as well. That was probably the best promotional campaign we've ever had for a Chelsea kit. And the tagline was it's just blue. I think there was something in it. It's just blue.
Yeah.
That was fucking brilliant. But I actually really like the blue, the new kit. The white one is weird because it has like some weird orange squiggle on here. I don't know if that's just the picture.
I don't really like orange.
Yeah.
Well,
we've got an orange Chelsea badge in the new kit.
Yeah.
Which is a weird look.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
And orange on the old sleeves as well.
I almost feel like, this one, the old Infinite Athlete, and obviously before the sponsor was even on there, that was a little bit like love at first sight for me. I like that kit. That kit was unbelievable. The season before, with the white collar and the little blue bits, the shit season, I hate that kit. Didn't like it from the first second I laid eyes on it. Yeah. This one, I think it's safe to say the jury's still out on. So...
Is that what you're saying? Are you saying it's not good enough, this kit?
Jury's out. So
what are you rating it out of 10 so far?
I can't. Jury's out.
Oh, the jury... are you not in session? The court's not in session.
Jury's out, mate. You're all having fags and fucking bacon sandwiches outside.
I'm going to stick my neck out, mate. I'm going to say that's an 8 out of 10 kit. I don't mind it.
That's strong.
I don't mind it.
That's strong. Tell you who else is strong. Josh Aveste, the big dog. Go on, show him the muscles, Josh.
I haven't got any.
Oh, look at that. The man runs 10Ks for fun. Head over to his channel. It is linked in the comment section or in the description. You know where it is. It's down there. I will see you all in the next one.